is firmly a buy on dips, but let's get a conversation going. We have the management of Nazara Technologies joining us now. Some very interesting news. The company has announced a partnership with 4 Indian game studios to publish 5 games in India. So to discuss more on this and what the potential really is, we have Sudhir Kamath joining us, COO of Nazara Technologies. Sudhir, thanks for joining us. Very interesting development, like I was mentioning, but just take us through some more details on these 5 games. How does this work? Are these apps that you will need to download to play these games? How do you make money on these?
Firstly, thanks for having us here. I think it's something that Nazara has been trying to do for a while, to have more games which are developed in India and actually do well in the Indian market. And this is something we announced last month, that we are going to be publishing games by other studios. Over the last few weeks, we've been selecting some, and we've really picked these 5 wonderful games. We're looking forward to having lots of you hopefully play these games, and hopefully then we will also make good money off them. But yes, you're right. These are apps. Each of these is a separate app which you'll have to download from the Play Store or App Store, and then you play on that.
Okay, well, we may not be your target audience, Sudhir. Hi, this is Sonia here. I'm personally not a gamer. I know that Pavitra isn't as well, but I'm sure you have a very, very large audience that you're catering to at the moment. But, tell us a little more about this, right? What is the kind of revenue potential you see here? What is the kind of investment that you folks at Nazara will be making for these games?
I think what we've announced is that we're looking at publishing ideally about 20 games in the next 12 to 18 months. For each of these games, we intend to invest between 1 to 3 CR. So totally it should be about a 50-60 crore investment over the next year in this portfolio. Revenue hopefully will be multiples of that, but I think it's too early to predict. We'll really have to test these games for the first few weeks to see what their potential is, how much they can scale. But we expect this to become a sizable business for us going forward, maybe more than a year out.
Okay, so what is the investment in just these games, these 5 that you were talking about?
It's roughly, you could ballpark it at 2 to 3 crores per game. So these 5 games, we should be looking at about a 10 to 15 crore investment.
Okay. And, the size of the gaming market is expected to grow disproportionately over the next, say, couple of years. But I want to understand, what are the numbers we're looking at currently? How big is gaming now, and what is the outlook over the next, say, 12 to 18 months?
So obviously, we at Nazara are very bullish on the potential for the Indian market. There was a recent EY report which put the current market size at about maybe 16,000 crores in India for this year. But that number is very small if you compare it to any of the other global markets, right? Not just US and China, but even, say, Germany, France, UK. So, and given the population size in India and the fact that people are now beginning to spend money online much more comfortably, we think it's at a very early stage, and this number will increase quite dramatically, we think, in the coming 4 to 5 years.
So this 16,000 crores, I mean, assuming that it's even sort of 18 or 20,000 crores, right? For Nazara Technologies, what is the kind of opportunity that you see? What is the kind of revenues that you can make from gaming?
I mean, currently Nazara, if you look at last year numbers, we're in the 1,000 crore range rather than the 10,000 crore range. So for us, we think there's a lot of potential. We think it can increase quite a lot as we go. So.
Okay, so this does come under your publishing division, right? Can you just take us through what maybe 1 to 2 year kind of expectation is on that front? How much do you see? I know we've all been talking about the big potential of gaming in the long run, but maybe in a 1 to 2 year view, how much do you see it going up?
Maybe I'll just tell you what publishing also means in a gaming context. So as distinct from, say, TV or news publishing, etc.
Yeah.
So in publishing, what we really do is we work with developers or studios which have put together new games. We evaluate which games we think will make sense. And then when we say publish, we take the rights for that game for India, US, or other markets where we think they'll work. And we actually push those games in the app stores, and we then spend money around the marketing of those. And we really help to scale that up. And obviously, alongside that, we do a lot of work with the teams that have developed those games to improve their game, right? The quality of the game and how that monetizes. Thumb rule would be that whatever we invested, the return should be at least 1.5 to 2x of that within a year. So again, if we end up spending 40, 50 crores in the next 12 months on this, then this division should result in a higher number than that. But it's still very early. These are the first 5 games that have just gotten off the blocks. So maybe in a few weeks or a few months, I can give you a better sense for what that potential will be.
Okay. So are these like mobile apps, these games, or are they like events that one needs to enroll in? Just take us through the procedure.
All of these are mobile apps, and each of these is a different kind of game. In India, obviously, you have many different kinds of games that work well, from shooters to sports games to cars. In our case, Nazara has a game called World Cricket Championship, which is one of the largest cricket games. In this set of 5 games, we also picked up another cricket game called World Cricket League. There's a 3D multiplayer kind of experience that it gives you. There's a puzzle game called Hacked. There's a game called Laser Tanks. There's a game called Paperly, which is actually flying a small paper plane. I mean, something I'm sure you've done as a kid. Now you can try doing that online as well, right? There's another game called Gravity Shooter, where you try to fight the effect of gravity while also basically firing bullets at an alien. But all of these are fun games which will work for not just kids, but older folks as well. And we do think that there is a huge market for these in India, and there will be.
Okay, I'm sure I'm going to go out there and try some of these games for sure.
We can try Paper Flag. I think the shooter sounds a bit intense. We can try.
Yeah, Paper Flag is good for us. But you have about, just before we let...
Paper plane game. It's quite a unique one, which I'm sure you will enjoy playing by yourself.
Okay, we're going to take that up for sure. Just one final question. You have 1,400 crores of cash on your books, right, post-fundraising. What are the other plans that you're looking at? How are you going to use the cash?
What we've been saying is that, see, all of our games or divisions are profitable, cash generating. So the money that is being put aside is fundamentally for M&A or for new growth ideas. There's a whole bunch of options that we are looking at on the M&A front, and hopefully you'll get to hear about them fairly soon once we close some of these deals. But yeah, we are very actively looking at new acquisitions with that.
Okay, Sudhir, very interesting chat. Thanks for joining us today and all the very best. Season's greetings to you also as well. But thanks for taking the time and joining us today. That is the management of Nazara Technologies talking to us about these 5 new games that they have partnered with Indian studios for. With that, it is time for a short break. There's lots more market action coming up in just a bit, so stay with us.